Soup and sandwich. Who doesn't like soup and sandwich? The crunchiness of a sandwich, the velvetiness of a soup. Sounds good, huh? And you know what? It's easy to make. And it's nutrition. It has all the elements. So let's start going. Soup. What kind of soup am I going to make? You know, a soup with legumes. Legumes are one of the greatest assets you have in your pantry. It's dry goods. They are inexpensive, whether you have beans, white beans, kidney beans, cannellini beans. It is the ceci beans, the garbanzo beans. It is lentils. It is all of, split peas even fit in that category. And these are all dried little legumes that are put in a plastic bag and just sometimes forgotten on the shelf. But don't you forget them, because all you need to do to really get the maximum out of them is you take the bag, you open it up, you put it in a bowl like that, cover it with water, and leave it there for 24 hours, and you get these reconstituted, wonderful little morsels. And we'll start the soup now with them. So let's put bring a sweetness to it. Carrots, let me see, and maybe a little bit more. So you begin a soup, just a basis like this. The legumes, we're gonna put plenty of water, and we're gonna let it cook away for about 45 minutes to an hour. And then we're gonna add some of the kind of lighter vegetables, the vegetables that cook quicker, like spinach in this one. But you could you could add Swiss chard, you could add kale. All of these vegetables make a great soup. What's important about a soup is, of course, that you get all these mellow vegetables in there, that you cook them enough. You know, a lot of times everybody says, oh, vegetables, in and out. But a soup needs to cook, needs to perk, that's how it gets really velvety and delicious. So let's put the water in. So we're gonna cook it for about an hour and, you know, get a substantial amount of water in there. And what's good about soups, you know, make a big batch, because they freeze well, and then you can turn them in all other kinds of good things, and you can use them when you least expect company or somebody to visit. You pull that soup out of the freezer, you bring it back to a boil, you add some pasta to it, and you got yourself a great meal. Okay, I think a little peperoncino, because I like a little zest to my soup. A little bit of salt. You leave it there 45 minutes to an hour, and we'll come back. We'll add some spinach. Soup and sandwich, so it is. Let's see where the soup is. See, the leeks have cooked down. The ceci beans are at the right point. And as you can see, it went down quite a bit, about 1/3, and that's the way you want it. We'll put the spinach in, the green goodies in there. And as I said, you know, any green-leafed vegetable that you like, keep in mind, you know, if you're putting kale in here, it takes longer to cook. The spinach will take about 20 minutes, and it'll give me just enough time to make the sandwiches. In Italian, we bake our sandwiches in a way, and I'll show you how, and it's delicious. So let's put this back on, let it come back to boil. Ham and cheese, as simple as that. And again, we were in Italia. Maybe it would be prosciutto and fontina. So the option of cheeses, you know, and meats, it's up to you, or make it a vegetarian. Just battering the bottom a little bit, and this side, I just don't want it to stick. Bread, you know, a whole wheat bread is great. That's perfect. We have a little bit of butter on the bottom, just a little bit like this. Ham. Formaggio, cheese. This is Swiss cheese. You can put Gruyere, you can put Munster, you can put cheddar, all of that. You know, when you have sometimes you make a sauce and you just have kind of half a cup of sauce left or whatever, you gotta save that. You put it in a little container, put it in the freezer, and use it on moments like that. In between, you know, no mayonnaise or butter or all of that stuff. A little bit of tomato sauce will do the trick. And put it between the cheese so it doesn't soak your bread. So here it is. And you know what will happen? The cheese will melt, the tomatoes will melt. You know, Parmigiana, eggplant Parmigiana, veal Parmigiana, we all like that. And that's all you need in the sauce. Put the ham back on top, just like that. A nice leaf of basil. Can you shred it up like that and spread it around? You can do that too. And I'm putting it in between because I want it to kind of stay moist and still cook and release its flavor. Tap it. Just like that. And the top, you know, just a little more butter so it gets tasty and crispy. We have a lot of flavors going on the inside, but you know, So if a little grated cheese, you know, that always kind of adds the crust to whatever you're making. So, 425 degrees preheated oven, 20 minutes. By then we'll have our soup finished and we're ready to have a nice lunch or snack or whatever you want. Let's check the soup. The sandwiches are cooking. Nice and velvety. We haven't put much flavor in here. A little salt, a little peperoncino. A great step in flavoring your soups, especially if you're conscious about your fat, it's just like that. You get a pan, get oil, and I guess a substantial amount of oil because we haven't put any in there at all. Lots of garlic. And you get that to become golden, nice and golden. You add a pot full of this like that, and it'll just, your soup will explode in flavor. I put some peperoncino, but you know, a little more. There's a lot of soup there. And I want to put it here because I want to toast it, because I want to magnify the flavor of the peperoncino. It's beginning to just be a little golden, and it's beginning to shrivel. And this is the point. You come over your soup. Be careful because this will go, wow. And then you return all of this into the soup, just like that. And now this should cook another 10 minutes just for everything to harmonize. Let me just taste a little bit because now I want to know where I'm going. And I always tell you, taste, taste, taste. What is it telling me? I'm missing salt. Keep in mind, then I'll put some cheese also. The peperoncino is kind of crawling from the back of the mouth to the front. That's a good sign. The soup is just about ready. I smell the cheese is toasting. And, you know, in the kitchen, your senses tell you a lot. So let's go to the oven.
You need to, in my opinion, taste while you're cooking, continuously as you're cooking. I think you need to smell. I mean, it's sort of obvious if, you know, you smell immediately if your onions were burning, you know, and that's also an important sense. And touch is the first sense, I think, in cooking. You know, are the asparagus crisp? Do they snap when you break them so that when you're cleaning them? Is, you know, the meat fresh? Can you touch it and push on it? I think all the senses are really important. And then ultimately, of course, you know, we sit down and eat it, the taste of it.
Smells delicious. Now, how do I want to present this? Rustic is always nice. You know, a little bowl, nice terracotta, nice and warm. It feels good in your hands. Nice and warm. Let's This looks inviting already. A little bit of cheese, yes, certainly. A little bit of oil, yes. And I'll use a little scallions just to bring the freshness of the vegetable back to the soup. Now we're into our sandwich. You can see that it's a cross between Italian and American. Ham and cheese melted, but there's some tomato sauce and grated cheese in there. Now, how would I cut this to eat? And again, that's up to you. The traditional way, of course, is, and the cheese is coming out, and that is fine. Just collect it and put it right here, because your guests will love it. And you put this right on top here, just like that. And a little spoon right there. You put this in front of your family, and you can imagine that they'll be happy, happy, happy. Nice freshness. That little touch of oil, of scallions really pops. I tasted the soup. Let me get a crunch on the sandwich. Where am I gonna get this bite? I gotta get this piece of cheese right there. It's great. Ham and cheese, you taste the basis, but the tomatoes, the melted cheese, the grated cheese, all of that, texture and all that is delicious. And a spoonful of that, bite of that, great lunch or dinner. Well, you know what my grandmother used to do? Whenever she cooked pasta, and at the bottom of the bag, there was little kind of pieces of pasta left, whether it's spaghetti, whether it was rigatoni, whatever was broken, she would collect it and save it. And all these mixed pieces of broken pasta she would use for soup. And that's, a great way to use everything, and it's delicious. But then, you can add cooked rice. You have some day-old bread, make it into croutons, some pre-cooked pasta. So here, I can put some, let's see, what would I like some rice? Like this, rice. I mean, I certainly wouldn't put all three of them together, but rice like that, cooked rice, you mix it, and you can see how this becomes another soup. So when you're saving this soup, you're eating it, and half of it you've saved in quart containers, you pull it out when that evening when you're rushed to make dinner or whatever, add a little bit of water, like half of a quart of water to the soup, bring it to boil, and you can cook the pasta right in there, or you can have your pasta pre-cooked and just add it at the end and flavor your soup like that, okay? So, many ways to enjoy a good soup.